Hey guys, so I'm gonna give it a go trying to install Anaconda on a Windows machine. So let's see. Okay, just agree, it's just for me. So if you're watching this before, if you noticed, I couldn't have a space in my name when I was installing. Well, it had some issues. So let's just see if we can save it in our this PC onto local disk C. Let's put it in program files and okay. So even program files have a space in it. It's so dumb. That's why I don't like Windows, to be honest. You know what? Okay, this is gonna... If you have a space in your name, maybe this is what you should do. Create a new folder named software in your local disk C, and we'll use that to install software that doesn't like things with a space in it. Okay, let's hope this works. Okay, we're not going to click that since that looks obviously like it doesn't want us, but we'll say register Anaconda 3 as your default Python 3.8. And we'll see how this goes installing. I'm not used to using a Windows computer, so we'll see what happens. So guys, it's completed now. We just go next. And okay, next. Finish. And I don't think we need to worry about reading either of these, but now what we can do is type Anaconda and the navigator should come up. So I can minimize that and give it a chance to think since it's the first time it's starting up. Who knows how long this will take. Cool. So, I'll just describe the Anaconda Navigator a little bit and what things mean. So you can start individual applications based on here, and this is your default environment. So when I talk about conda environments in the previous one, so the virtual environments video for in Mac and Linux, the same stuff applies. But rather than typing commands on command line to create your environment, you can use this Anaconda Navigator, but the concept is the same. So what we're going to do is, for this course, we're going to create a new Anaconda environment once Anaconda starts responding again. Okay, I'm going to try and open up Anaconda again. Take 2. Last time it didn't respond, so we'll see if it works this time. Otherwise, I'll have to allocate my virtual machine to have more memory. So you might have this issue as well if you've got a computer that doesn't have much memory, but hopefully it works fine for you. So this environments tab allows you to create new virtual environments. So we're going to create one for this course. So if you just click the create button, let's give it a name. We're going to call it Sci 3100. Actually, we'll just call it BINF because we've got masters and undergrad students in here. So we'll create the environment called BINF. You can see where it's installing. So yeah, you guys should have put your, just as I installed my Anaconda in my C drive, so it's installing in C drive, software, environments, and BINF. And now it's just going to take a while to get all the different software packages to install. Because I'm on my home internet, it's not very fast. Yeah, cool, sweet. So we can see these packages are available that are installed. We can also try and search this, I think, to install new packages. But if we want to start this environment, so if we want to create a command prompt using this, we can open in terminal. So I would recommend doing this to install packages. So this way you can just pip install Jupyter Lab, which is what we're going to need to install for this course. So Jupyter Lab allows us to use Jupyter Notebooks, which is one of the main things we use in this course to run through different content. And so, yeah, that'll be the first thing you need to install. I think we also need NumPy, so that'll be the next. Cool, so this is now installed Jupyter Lab. We're going to install one more thing, install NumPy, and then we can start working on our code. So we can then open up a Jupyter Notebook in this environment. Cool, successfully installed NumPy and Jupyter Lab. Now that we've done that, what we can do is we can try and open up a Jupyter Notebook. So, say we had a really good course that we wanted to run the code from, and they gave it to us in a zip file. We can just extract the contents of this. So extract all, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my documents folder. Cool, and extract stuff there. Great. So now, for some reason when it extracts in two, so I'm just going to Control-C that. New folder, bin, and I will copy the contents there. Now, just to be neat, I will delete this folder. So, cool. So now in my documents folder, I've got my pimp folder with Practical 0, which has the Jupyter Notebook in it, and then the other data that we've provided you with. So now in order to run this notebook in Jupyter, oh no, I don't know what my computer just, sorry about that. My virtual machine had a little moment. Okay, so what we want to do is we can either run it directly via the BIMF environment. So you could say in this home navigator, you're running the applications on BIMF, and you could run Jupyter through that, or you could run Jupyter Lab. But what we're going to do is we're going to go here, we're going to go open in terminal. I'm going to cd, which is change directory, into my documents. I'm going to change directory into my BIMF folder. And now I'm going to list what's in this directory. And I can see that Practical 0 is in there, so I'm going to cd into Practical. Actually, I'm just going to Jupyter Notebook here. So I'm not in the Practical 0 folder, I'm in the BIMF folder, which has the Practical 0 folder in it. So now by typing Jupyter Notebook in my environment, it will hopefully start the Notebook Lab. So, I've only got Microsoft Edge installed, but let's see if Microsoft Edge runs Jupyter Notebooks fine. Fantastic, it does. Well, there's a surprise. Windows, your browser isn't as terrible as I thought it was. So now we can run Practical 0, we can click on the notebook, and we can start running through the content in this notebook. So I'll just double check that the first code cell runs once it's loaded, and then we can move on from this. Okay, so let's check this. So we can run a cell by clicking this little run command, and that, or kernel error. Interesting. Okay, so live debugging. If someone had this issue as well, interesting. So it looks like this is something to do with permissions. Let's see what Google says about it. Ooh. Could not. whoops, 32. Let's see if it works with a different version of this Pi Windows installation. So we've uninstalled the latest version, which was Pi Win 301. Okay, so now let's try running Jupyter Notebook and hoping that this time it actually works for us. Okay, so we can see that the kernel hasn't quite loaded yet, but hopefully it works. Okay, kernel is ready. So let's see if this runs now. Woohoo! Great. Okay, weird classic odd error that you need to install PyWin equals 225. Who doesn't love a strange error that some random on Stack Overflow solves for you? Okay, great. So now we've got the notebook working. The last thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we can, say, run binfpy, which is what we got for this course. So I am going to pretend, well, I'm going to go to that GitHub link, which I have on my computer somewhere. Oh, actually, it's in here. Binfpy, cool. So in this binfpy section, which is the bit we're going to be in at the moment, we're going to, rather than git clone that, we're just going to copy that, paste that into our browser, and we're going to download the code directly. So I'm just going to click this little download button. I'm going to download the zip. I'm going to show this in folder, unzip this, and I'm just going to extract it here. So let's now copy this folder into our documents, and let's put it in our bint folder because we'll try and do everything from here. I'm going to now rename it to just binfpy. Okay, so now if we go back to our practical 0, let's try and run this web service thing. And it says module not found. And so usually when you have a module not found error, you'll need to pip install that. But since binfpy isn't a pip installable program, what we're going to do is we're actually going to just use append to our path the location of the code. So basically your Python path, run this, allows your installation essentially to find packages on that. So we're going to import sys and then sys.path.append. And what we're going to type into here is we're going to get this. We're going to copy, or actually let's go into the binfpy folder. We're going to copy that. So in this folder, we should see all these things, and we're going to put it in string quotations and paste it in here. Okay, now let's try running that again. Oh, I forgot that this happens. Okay, so since, I don't know why Windows has this problem, but this is actually a good problem to encounter. So for some reason, Windows doesn't like the C colon. Let's see if it works without that. Nope. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to give it a relative path just to make it easier. Sorry, I think, let's see if this works. As I said, I'm not really a Windows person, right? You need to do 2 backslashes. So actually this is a good thing to remember, and I always forget it because I never use Windows, but if you're copying and pasting a path in a Windows computer, you need to escape, which is the backslash, your backslashes. So As you saw before, it had an error, it couldn't read it, and now it can read the path if I have 2 backslashes. So now importing web service works, fantastic. So now we can run the rest of the notebook, no problems, and you guys will be able to go through and work through these problems yourself. So good luck.